Welcome back to Switch to Linux. I'm going to unmute people before I forget. And we are back today to talk about the end of the open internet. Is it really going to be the end? I don't know. I'm going to try and talk a little bit quieter today. I'm still in this parking lot. I'll be here for another... I think this was my last stream from the parking lot, so that's good. Well, no. Tomorrow, I'm streaming from the parking lot tomorrow, too. So, weekly news roundup is also from the parking lot. So, I mean, I wish I could tell you, but, I don't want to draw too much attention to myself. But anyway, we're going to talk about the end of the open internet. This is actually an article I reported on, and then somebody sent out a Tech Dirt article that got a little bit deeper, and so I dug deep into it, and it's like, very interesting. So I thought it'd be a fun little one to discuss here tonight. We're going to go ahead and get jumping on into there, and we'll say hello to everybody at the end. But we're going to get jumping into our topic. So those of you who want to jump on and be like, just get to the content, we'll do that. And then we'll do our chats at the end and talk about whatever else goes on until roughly 8 Eastern. And so with that, is that a cat or something? Mark's doing something.
That's my new dog.
Oh, okay. The dog is out there. All right. So, of course, who is bringing us the end of the open internet? Who else would bring us the end of the open internet? A company that will not be named, but you can find their name in the upper left-hand corner there of the stream content. So, there you go. So. What they did is kind of a media blitz, and journalists like the rest of us might be potentially inherently lazy and didn't want to dig too far deep into it. And even I, in the Weekly News Roundup, read up one of the articles on this last week and highlighted on one factor which does make a lot of sense. Unfortunately, when you dig deeper and then look at all three of the simultaneous press releases and you go, that's interesting. And so, of course, we are in this weird corporatical world right now that more and more people, like a big business gets there, like Amazon. Now, Amazon's the top of the market in its field. It does not want anybody to supplant it. So what's the best way to prevent anybody from supplanting them? Well, partner up with the regulators and create regulation that prevents people from being able to do the things that you did in order to get to your position. You effectively are crippling everybody who comes behind you. And that is what the big G is doing right here. They are making changes and calling for regulatory changes, which is going to make it impossible for anybody coming behind them to actually succeed. And now the good news is the law that this was based on, which passed in California, was ruled unconstitutional effectively immediately. And so we don't know if that's going to play the same impact going forward, but we'll go ahead and have a look at it anyway. Anybody want to jump in here before I start reading anything? Anybody want to jump in with some initial thoughts based on the articles?
Infringement of the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're talking about. Infringement of the First Amendment.
I think it's a major privacy issue because when you see this framework, for one thing, it took me as a bunch of word salad. Again, these large corporations and government entities always seem to have a lot to say with saying little to nothing at all. There are some major concerns how I see this implemented, and I'll leave it at that. I just don't think this is going to play well.
Yeah. Ivan, anything to jump in before we start going here?
Yeah, I actually found it kind of interesting that that this here is going on, and whereas like a week or two ago I saw headlines regarding everything regarding net neutrality is going to be trying to be brought back up, and it's like, okay, so I see this, like you mentioned the links and stuff, and I take a quick peek, and I'm like, yeah, okay, so we've got this net neutrality thing coming out. What is big tech going to do? They're going to try to set up everything in such a way that when the time comes, they can go to the government and say, oh, no, we can't do that because of this, and we'll lose money.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a valid point. So what we're looking at here is particularly dealing with how do we keep children and teens safe online. There's a good old-fashioned ancient. I mean, this is so good that hundreds of years before the creation of the internet, people knew about it. It was called being a parent. Okay, now can you keep 100% of your kids offline at all times? No, you can't. I'm not under that delusion that a good parent can 100% restrict all access to their kids to everything. I don't think that's the case in the slightest. But what we do have the ability to see is to see a parent can make better decisions, monitor things, and not just be like, let's give my 10-year-old a smartphone. And that really is at the core of the question. Now, what we reported on is the one aspect that says, yeah, the government should not be requiring IDs for anything that's not like outside of the big P, the big alcohol, the big G, that would be gambling. Not the big G we're talking about here today. But that's really where a lot of people focused on. And of course, as I get through the weekly news roundup, sometimes we make the mistake in not digging as deep as we can because we cover a dozen stories. And so I went back through and we read everything here today, which I didn't have all these links back then, but these came out 2 weeks ago. What happened is they did a media blitz. Which is where the main Google blog releases a policy framework to protect children and teens online. Simultaneously, they released on the Tubies, YouTube's principled approach for children and teenagers, and then they did a more regulatory one, a legislative framework to protect children and teens online. All the same parent company, all released simultaneously, and so what happens is you read one, you get struck over the other, and then you miss out on the one that's released in the odd format, which is the PDF. Very interesting, which is the one that has the most detailed information. So it boils down to this. They want to talk about how to protect children and teens online. So what we reported on, which was mostly incorrect, not entirely, but mostly incorrect, is that Google pushed back against one policy saying, yeah, we do not want to regulate the internet with age verification, government IDs, and things like that, which I agree with. And so as they say that is the direction that they want to go in, I'm going to completely agree with that general premise. All right. The problem is that when you dig deeper into this, Google is effectively saying, yeah, we're going to do this because guess what? We want to push deeper. We want to dig deeper and heuristically figure out who is who. And that really is the direction we're looking at. So a policy framework to protect children and teens online. This is the shortest version, which is on the Google blog. From articulating age-appropriate design principles to prioritizing teen privacy and safety, we're sharing ideas to help policymakers accelerate youth safety online. So effectively, they are calling on legislators to pass new laws to restrict future internet companies coming behind them. This is why we talk about the end of the open internet. Because the open internet suggests that the internet is here. We all know that it is a shotgun in the hands of a toddler. We all have to take excessive steps to be safe with it. All right. And because of this, what we have to do is, back in the old days, parents were very careful about the computer. You had one computer in the house and everybody could see it. And there was a lot more protection about what was going on. But in our current age, parents don't think twice about, as I said, giving their 10-year-olds a smartphone, which is ridiculous. And so, especially a smartphone in the modern era, where as a parent, I don't have any real parental controls. They might have a parental control button that says, you limit your screen time. You can block out this particular website, but that's meaningless. I want to be able to have a smartphone where I can access the core files. I can make modifications to keep my family safe. This is why I use a phone that I can put Lineage on. Lineage allows me to modify those files. I don't even think Graphene OS allows me to do that. So if I have a major push to an update on the host file, I can still do it on my Lineage phone. I may not be able to do that on Graphene. I don't know. I haven't played around with Graphene enough to know for sure. And I'm not sure anybody that I've asked about Graphene understands or comprehends what I was asking about. Because when you can block something on the host file level, you have done a lot better job of blocking something. So, here's at the base what they want to talk about. Today's children and teens are growing up in an increasingly digital world. We take seriously our responsibility to promote positive online experiences, and we support regulatory approaches that promote both online safety and balanced practices. That's why today we're releasing our legislative framework to protect our teens and children online. That is this PDF. We'll get to that in a moment. Framework outlines some principles for laws seeking to improve online experiences and keep children and teens safer while using the internet. Once again, this is what parents are for. And this is why I don't think any education resources should be able to use the internet as a default principle. You know, we learn a lot better when we're not perpetually distracted by the things on the internet. Take it from me. The framework outlines some principles for laws seeking to improve online experiences, keep them safer on the internet. We hope that by sharing our experiences and perspectives, we'll advance the work of policymakers and experts addressing these issues, and we look forward to engaging constructively with them. In other words, let's ban everybody coming behind us so that we pull up the ladder and prevent anybody else from getting our level of success. So, improving protections, online services need to deliver age-appropriate features and services and be designated with the safety in mind. Google is continually working with industry leaders, whether expanding options for parents or family link on YouTube, by not personalizing advertising to children and teens, blurring adult graphic or violent content in search results by default, or setting defaults to support digital well-being. And we are committed to evolving our practices and approaches with input from diverse stakeholders. In fact, just today, the Tubies announced 5 principles that are core to its work, and that is this article that we're going to be looking at. So we agree with public health and mental health experts that technology companies have a responsibility to design and build better online experiences. See, I don't think that's the public health and mental health message. It's not to design better experiences.
Okay, question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, this is all surrounded around the Google world. Okay, what about everything outside the Google world? Like TikTok?
Because that's where the regulatory framework gets to. They want every service to fall under what these things are.
Yeah, but they don't control every service. They can't control what TikTok does and all the idiotic children that get on there.
But what they're doing is they're saying, we are going to put these frameworks in to influence the legislators so the legislators pass laws forcing everybody to behave like we think they should behave, which means much extra cost, higher pricings, will not be able to succeed in the marketplace.
I don't see how they can even control that.
By legislation. If the regulator comes down and says,
legislate the whole internet.
That's their goal. And that is why it's the end of the open internet. That's the principle. The open internet is the idea that the internet is a free roaming society. You can do with it what you want to do with it. Google is trying to stop that.
Dude.
With legislation. Now, the good news is that most legislation that deals with these types of things that come out usually has a cap on the company size. So as long as you stay under a certain user base or a certain revenue, the laws don't generally apply. But I think Google would like to change that too, because we have to keep these children safe online, you know. So they talk about the good legislative models. Those based on age-appropriate principle designs can hold companies responsible for promoting safety and privacy while enabling access to richer experiences for children and teens. How do you do this? Well, you need to use some form of heuristic analysis to figure out who's a teenager and who's not, because Google, to their credit, says, yeah, we don't really want everybody to be uploading their government IDs, but we just think we should work on other ways of figuring it out. And so that really is what they are looking to do. And that is where we have our biggest realm of problem. So Mr. Mohan comes down. Children and teenagers today can access the world of possibilities on YouTube, whether it's an Exploring important topics around the world or looking up a video to help with algebra homework. Are any kids using YouTube to figure out how to get help on their homework? Anybody?
I don't know.
Well, I know Google, we might cover this. It's one of the articles in my list. It may or may not be kicked out, but Google is actually doing something that you can actually input your math problems into Google and it'll help you solve the problems. Yeah, that's not going to go well. That is going to lead to much more stupid
students. Most AIs right now can take care of the bulk of that.
Yep. Yeah, which is probably, I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit trail right now, but it leads itself to a lot of problems in that students nowadays are trained with an attitude of let's just get this finished, whereas 100 years ago, the reason our society stands on the giants it does is because people back then weren't just looking to finish their assignment. They were looking to truly understand. And we have lost that in modern education.
Back in my school days, a calculator was unheard of. They haven't even been invented yet.
Yep.
You had to learn how to do all your math on paper the long way, the way it would traditionally had been done in the past for centuries.
Yep.
Show your
and
work.
You had to show your work that you
did. And you learn better that way. Go ahead, Mark.
Yes, you understood the concepts, and it's just gonna breed more laziness, more intellectual laziness. What else could we possibly be lazy about?
Idiocracy.
Learning is secondary.
Here we come. All right, so Mohan goes on, as the leader of YouTube and a father of 3, I believe it's crucial we create healthy experiences for young people of all ages. Or we could just be better parents. There's a thought. Over the years, we built a robust set of policies and services to protect our entire community and connect people to trusted sources from combating and promoting eating disorders and I don't even know if I can say that word on the tubies. I would rather say the H word or the K word first. To guard against the dangerous challenges and YouTube Kids and supervised experiences for older children, but offer different libraries of content for different levels of maturity. Basically they're saying, hey, we need to do some different things and figure this out. So they create 5 privacy principles here. The physical privacy, physical safety, and mental health and well-being of children and teenagers require special protections online. So of course we have to have regulation coming out to push this. Parents and caregivers play an important role in setting rules for families' online experience. Yes, this is true. Let's move this to number 1, get rid of everything else, and say, parents, don't let your kids be on the internet without supervision. You see, our whole nation used to have this similar messaging about we need to protect the kids by teaching parents to be better parents. That was the principle. Principle 3.
It's almost better to tell your kids, don't watch all that junk on the internet. Here, I'll buy you a AAA game. Go play that instead.
Yeah, there you go. You might be safer that way. All children deserve free access to high quality and age-appropriate content that meets their individual interests and needs.
No, they absolutely do not. Nobody owes me anything. I don't owe anybody anything in this world. You earn it. So here they want to curate an internet. So we'll build on guidelines around high quality content for children to better meet the needs of teenagers. Of course, quality content doesn't do much good if it's not affordable to everyone to access. YouTube, look at yourself. To my understanding, while they are simultaneously preventing people from viewing YouTube without ad blockers, they have also, I think, doubled the price of YouTube Premium.
Yeah, they've been jacking that around. I put an article in our Matrix chat about the latest ad blocker things that Google's trying to smack around.
Yeah. Of course, quality content doesn't do much good if it's not affordable for everyone to access. Advertising allows us to offer each child the same wealth of content, no matter how much money their families have or don't have. There you go. So therefore, turn off your blockers. Trust us, we will not personalize ads to your kids. I say, I don't know. I don't want to get into a conversation about the whole ad blocking issue. I think that's a different conversation for a different day. And possibly a different platform. Principle 4, the developmental needs of children differ greatly from those of teenagers, should reflect their online experiences. So they want to talk about finely tuning YouTube for the particular age group. I love this sentence, though, because think about this sentence with other things in our current world. Teenage brains are still developing and work differently than adult brains, particularly when it comes to decision-making or self-regulating. So why are you telling them they should have autonomy in chopping off body parts? Interesting. Principle 5, with appropriate safeguards, innovative technologies can benefit children and teenagers. Whether it's the latest device or exciting new generative AI tools, today's young people are eager to test and adapt technological information, from well-being guardrails to automated learning tools. Will incorporate our youth principles in the development and use of new technologies, and we continue looking at ways we can collaborate with experts across the industry to identify actions we can take together as research on the internet impacts young people continues to evolve. And so this deals around it. Policymakers around the world are understandably focused on the safety of children and teenagers online. We need a clear regulatory blueprint for policies and services needed from websites and platforms across the internet. This could require companies to provide parents and teenagers a comprehensive policy controls and develop tools that further mental health and well-being, push and publish information to the content policies and settings young people can understand. So that's really what they are trying to do, is create a policy framework. And that leads us to this. Any commentary before we get into the actual policy framework?
Why does every website on the internet or every online service need that, when most, honest to God, I'll give you an example. My business, I don't serve anybody under 18. It's just easier to serve adults.
Well, I think that they're dealing specifically with platforms. We're dealing specifically with platforms.
I think in the end, seriously, this is going to form into an ultra dark web.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But what about YouTube specifically is catering to adults only?
Well, it's not, and that's the point. The point is, if it's a website that's going to even drag the attention of youth, they want a regulatory framework. It's one thing if you're just a corporation, you're just a big company, and you're just like, you know what, big company, we're going to just focus on business strategies for the elite. There's obviously no need to have parental regulations on such things. This is why what they're talking about is they're talking about the web 3.0 with the social media and the constant connections and everything coming in. That's really what they're talking about. And so because of that, what we're starting to see is them calling for legislation around areas that grab kids. They're talking about the TikToks and the Facebooks, the Instagrams and the YouTubes and things like that. Oh, speaking of ads, 56 seconds, guys. There's an ad coming, apparently.
Why is a 13-year-old kid good? Why is the 13-year-old kid shaking their ass on TikTok or Instagram?
Did you just drop a swear word on my channel?
No.
Sir?
No parents.
Sir?
No parents.
That wasn't
Okay. Here's another scenario. Suppose the kid does not use his real age and his real name.
Well, and this is why they are pushing back against government IDs. So you can't lie about it. This is why we're talking about heuristic scanning.
Oh, now we're getting into a real deep subject.
That's the problem. That is the problem. So they want to force legislation to figure out who is a kid and who is not by every company, which is going to out-tech every other company to make sure nobody can climb to the level of success that they have had. This is why this is the end of the open internet, if Google has their way. I think this is a bigger fight than they think.
I think it'll turn around in the end, and it'll bite them because nobody will pay any attention to use their services anymore because they're being overwatched.
Well, that's already happening with the ad blocker apocalypse.
Yeah.
You can find our channel on Odyssey and Rumble, by the way, and BitChute.
The ad apocalypse is getting worse than you think it is because now it's getting down to the ISP level.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's some interesting commentary having that. Again, I think that's different conversation, different time, different platform, possibly different article. But let's get into the legislative framework. This is what they're creating to send out to legislators to be like, hey, this is the things we think you should do. So, legislative framework to protect children and teens online. Digital tools and experiences are a foundational part of children's and teens' everyday lives. Over the years, we've seen many innovative technologies like AI and access to high-quality, diverse content that can yield enormous benefits. We believe the appropriate safeguards can empower young people to help them learn, connect, grow, and prepare for the future. To that end, online services should build age-appropriate products that align with children's and teens' developmental stages and needs, offer tools that give families flexibility to manage their relationships with technology, implement policies, protections, and programs that increase online safety for every child and teen, and provide informative and accessible digital literacy materials. Okay, well-crafted legislation can be an effective tool to build on these efforts to keep children and teens safer online. In particular, we support legislation that tailors protections to the age of the child, supports mental health well-being, tackles different risks with proportional responses, and gives space for product and business improvements. To share the benefits of our experiences with government, regulators, and experts, we have outlined the following framework. So this is all geared specifically towards let's pass laws to stop other companies from doing the things that we did to get to our level, now that we have the technology to make it happen. Number 1, require online services to prioritize the best interests of children and teens in the design of their products. So you have a new product coming out that potentially has kids watching it. You have to design your product specifically with the idea of kids might be able to see it.
That'll drive parents nuts. Can I have some money for this? I seen it on the internet. Can I have some money for this? I seen it on the internet.
Yep. Absolutely. The second one, take a risk-based approach when requiring age assurance. So they're no longer talking about age verification. Now they're talking about age assurance. That's a key word here that is being used. It's the trendy euphemism. George Carlin would be proud. A good understanding of user age can help online services offer age-appropriate experiences. That said, the method to determine the age of users across the services comes with trade-offs such as intruding on privacy interests, requiring more data collection and use, and restricting adult users' access to important information services. Where required, age assurance, which can range from declaration to inference and verification, should be risk-based, preserving the user's access to information and services and respecting their privacy. So sometimes they're saying we want to say a declaration. I certify I'm over 18. Sometimes they want to infer it. I have been watching Pokemon videos all day long. I must be 13. That may or may not be applicable.
Collection of data.
And
mountains of data.
Or let's see, the last one, or to verification is, yeah, you need to show me your ID, or maybe not ID. Some people don't require to show the ID as much as enter a credit card number, because there was a period of time you could not get a credit card number unless you were over 18. And I think that is starting to die off now a little bit more. But that being said, that's kind of the direction. So where legislation mandates age assurance, it should go through a workable, interoperable standard that preserves the potential for anonymous and synonymous experiences. It should avoid requiring or collecting or processing additional personal information, treating all users like children, or impinging on the ability of adults to access the information. So how do you do this? So here they talk about more intrusive methods like verification with hard identifiers like government ID should be limited to the high-risk services. This is that one block that most of the articles caught on to and say, wow, Google's doing a good thing. Mea culpa. Moreover, age assurance requirements should permit online services to explore and adapt improved technological approaches. In particular, requirements should enable new privacy protective ways to ensure users are at least the required age before engaging in certain activities. And because these technologies are novel, imperfect, and evolving, requirements should provide a reasonable protection from liability from good faith efforts. So, kid accidentally got onto the PH there. We can't hold PH liable for that, or the tubies, So they're calling for. You can see that we don't really want to do the ID, but we know that the declaration doesn't really work. So we're going to be doing inferences. What are you watching? What type of behavior are you engaging in? How can we figure out your age without specifically asking for your age or an ID document to provide your age? But the problem is Google may be able to have the technology to do that. Other companies may not, unless, of course, they are outsourcing it to another company like Google, in which case Google gains more data. So you can only access the service if you use Google's new age assurance script. Without the age assurance script, you're now held more deeply liable because Google wrote the legislation that would allow a service to be created.
If that's the case, I'd have my kid order my Depends, my Geritol, and all the other old people things I use.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's the way to do it. 3 is increased protections for teens between the age of parental consent and 18 in a manner that reflects their increased maturity. So we want to be able to figure out who is a child, who is a teenager, and who is an adult. Very interesting. Number 4 is addressing the needs, and this is under all the rest. I think the next few at least are under providing age-appropriate controls. So address the need for robust parental control option that also respects the increased abilities and autonomy of teens. So, we, again, have to identify who is a child, who's a teenager, who is an adult, and then we have to put in parental controls for such things. Require online services to take measures to support mental health and well-being for children and teens. That's the parents' jobs. I'd say the school's jobs, but they seem to be fighting against that type of stuff. We cannot tell anything to the parents.
It almost makes you wonder how much money or how much and how many hands that they are greasing out in dough to get this to fly in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got to cost them a small fortune, and they got to have X number of people on board with it for it to even work.
Yeah, and that's precisely why other companies won't be able to do it. They won't.
And that's corruption.
All right. Number 6, ban personalized advertising for children and teens. We should just ban personalized advertising globally. No, what have we heard? By saying, okay, no company may utilize any data collected or inferred from somebody to advertise to them. Why not put contextual ads? It makes a lot more sense. If I'm reading a web page about headphones, I'm probably interested in headphones. An advertisement for headphones makes sense. But if I'm browsing a website reviewing headphones and I see AMSOIL ads on every single ad thing, I'm just never going to buy AMSOIL again.
Headphones oiled.
Yeah, that's right. So, personalized advertising should be completely banned. There's a good legislative step. I can get behind that one. You guys, ban personalized advertising. Make sure no company selling ads can sell any ads that are not contextual to the website. But again, they, just like other places, they're like, oh my God, personalized ads is the bane of all existence. No, not really. I could care less. uBlock Origin and my blocking script do a pretty good job. Reduce content risk while maintaining benefits. So a few points under this. Require platforms to give teens and parents of children tools to manage and use their online viewing and search history and personalized recommendations. Very interesting. Require platforms to take a responsible and transparent approach to developing and enforcing content policies. So again, we're going to force an online service to do a bunch of expensive things, period. That's crazy. Ensure oversight and accountability. Use risk-based impact assessment to foster accountability. Encourage regulatory harmonization, global opportunity, and recognize differences among services. We'll read that one there. Online services are diverse and play varying roles and functions. Legislation should take into account the different roles played by online services and tailor requirements to what is appropriate and technically feasible. For example, productions aimed at addressing risks of exposure to harmful content may not be as relevant for products that do not allow users to share and upload content. In order to create a safe online environment, well-crafted legislation should be tailored for the potential to underlying risk to children, teens posed by a particular service. Educational technology services, for example, should be considered separately given their unique context, roles, and responsibilities. So you can kind of see where they're trying to say, we're going to create a regulatory framework by which we can force companies to do things we didn't have to do because we are afraid of losing our market capital, especially since everyone is abandoning our platform because they refuse to turn off uBlock. There's my final thoughts there. Any other commentary on that?
I think it's half baked and it's going to cost them a lot of money to get there.
Correct. And Google has the money to spend. But Joe Blow's online content service does not.
Just let them blow it, but on the back end, they're going to get it back.
I'll just say the very existence of this erases any sort of real privacy that we've ever had in the past, and it will be replaced with a pseudo feel-good version of privacy that isn't actual privacy at all, just privacy in name. The very existence of this, inferred identity is a big problem, because then, so I don't have to use my ID, but you collect all of this behavioral information while I'm using my computer every day, and you client-side scan before encryption happens, so you know my data in the cloud, you know what I've got in Google Drive. I don't use Google Drive, but you know what I've got in Google Drive, and you know what I've got, or you know what I've got in iCloud. So,
yeah, I think that the entire framework here raises a lot of questions about how we're going to do all this kind of stuff without hardlining IDs and things like that. And so that really does bring up the questions there.
People are gonna, if they're smart, they'll use a VPN and a whole lot more, because a VPN alone is not a magic bullet.
Yeah. Well, the problem I have with VPNs, and this is, the marketing of a VPN is seriously problematic simply because of this one factor. A VPN itself does absolutely nothing to protect your online identity if you're logging into services, and nearly everybody's logging into services.
Correct.
This entire pushing of VPNs is 95% useless. Right. You do not need a VPN to protect your online privacy when you're logging into every account under the sun.
Let's say you're logging into your Google Drive box with your password and your username.
Yeah, I wonder who this guy is.
They don't even need your IP address or anything, because they already have your location and everything associated with them words.
And that is exactly why I think that Google is now starting to take the IP identifiers out of Chromium-based browsers, as we talked about in the Weekly News Roundup last week, because they don't need that information anymore, because everybody's signed in. And so by them taking that feature out, that's going to cripple other websites from being able to utilize such things.
Yeah, I mean, look, I could use a VPN all day. Google still knows what I watch and my behavioral activity.
Well, as long as you're logged into their services. If you use the VPN right, and you use the VPN and you're not logged into anything, you're much more better protect. Much more better. There's that word coming out again.
Browser isolation helps with that too, security ops, but that gets into
your password and username links it right to your address to your house.
Pretty much. All right, let's go ahead and it's getting close to the end here, so we're going to go ahead and jump over to chat, and we got 22 people watching on ZTubies. We got 22 watching on the Odysseys. Wow, we got 22 watching on Rumble. We have 22 across all platforms.
Place your bets now.
There you go. Which one's going to go first? All right, YouTube just jumped to 23. All right, so 3 years, the South Steeler and Minnesota winners decided to stay 70 to 90 degrees year-round. There you go. Hello, Jewel. Weisu's art channel, open internet ends January 1st. Anyway, with that browser protocol of theirs. I didn't hear anything about January 1st being the end of the internet. We'll have to look into that. Hey, Ricky, how's it going? Benito, hello. Scary kitty who never blinks and stares. That's right. Let's watch the end of the open internet. I hear doggy. Yeah, there was a doggy outside. I hear a wolf. No, it's not a wolf. I'm in a city, man. Ain't no wolf around here. Let's see. Hello, everyone from Argentina drinking mate? I don't know. Watching a stream on Debian with Mate. Hello. Greetings. Meanwhile, I use Windows XP for my productivity again. It just works.
Mate on Linux Mint Debian. Oh my God, it's so nice with the advanced menu.
Yeah, I don't like Mate. I just sorry, it's just a personal
probably my
opinion.
second choice is cinnamon.
Is it?
Mate, I can't even talk.
Yeah.
I've gone retarded. I'm sorry.
Let's see. I agree that the statement of violating the First Amendment. I tried old libraries like DX9. Let's see. Hello, Light of Life. Greetings. Think of the children to hold their monopoly position. Let's see. Windows XP's DX9 and earlier only, as far as I know. Yeah. Hello, Philip. Philo. Greetings to you. Got OBS able to live stream on the last 2 test streams. Oh, nice, Ricky. Very good. Let's see. Our responsibility to promote net profit, positive online experiences. There you go. Yeah, it's like be a parent, you know. Talked about the open internet. I donated to OpenSense and Linux Mint the past week. Very good. Awesome. Okay, why buy Windows license if you can donate to Linux Mint? There you go. Press the like button, everyone. How to protect children online. Don't snoop data from any user. There you go. Yeah. Right? Don't collect user data. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, when you have children, you're supposed to be the parent and the person that passes all the knowledge you gained in your life down to your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're supposed to take that knowledge and give it to them and hope they don't turn out to be a bunch of knuckleheads and that they use that knowledge and gain more knowledge as they move forward.
What happened to parents? I don't know. Some parents don't have time to monitor their kids and prefer platforms to sanitize their platform. Yeah, that always leads to problems. It's the same thing like when parents turn their kids over to Sunday schools, they lost their faith. When parents turn their kids over to education services like the public schools, they lost the ability to read and write and do basic arithmetic. Yeah, when parents are active in their kids' lives, though, they always result in better circumstances. A better offline mirror, the Debian repo, and any video you need. When you take down the internet, you'll be able to get it back. There you go. Yeah, I'll see if I can. If you have a new version of that, I'll download that before looking at it deeper. Let's see. Go Odyssey first. I'd be sad if the tubies went away, but I wouldn't sweat it. Yeah. I think I need to get the rumbies working with the K word and start integrating that. I know my my BitChute plugin stopped working. Maybe I'll look to see if there's an update or a fix or something. I don't know. I'll look into it. Maybe if the internet returned to Cyber Cafe, it wouldn't be so bad. There you go. We should bring back LAN parties too. There you go. Go out of home to use the internet. Yeah.
Other than the game server that you're streaming to.
Have you restarted your computer lately? There you go. Let's use alt channel where the takedown of the internet cyber is have content, video, music will be king. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Go play Doom. There you go. I have YouTube Premium. It's gone up, but you get ad-free YouTube music with it, which is nice on my phone when working out. Yeah, I just don't use my phone for anything other than calling people. So, you know, I don't really care what type of services somebody gives me on my phone. I won't use it. I can't even install that stuff on my phone. Jeez. Okay.
If some of this stuff you subscribe to, wait until you try and cancel it. It may be a real hassle to actually get out of it.
Yeah, that'll be a problem.
You may have to completely cancel a card to do it. I know I've had to do it once.
Well, that's why Louis Rossmann uses. He talked about using the like the temporary ones. I forget which one he was using.
Yeah, I think it's called privacy.
I don't know if it's that one.
I swear by privacy. I used that for a very long time, and then I switched to Found, which kind of does the same thing anyway. But I decided to use privacy again for like my personal stuff. So I've got like I won't say my bank. I probably ought not say my bank, but I've got my personal.
Yeah. Say it not thy bank. Hey, Salvo jumped on just in time. How's it going?
Hello.
But I do love my bank. If you'll PM me, I'll tell you who I bank with.
We got 24 on Odyssey now. Let's see what we have on our chat here. Jules over there. Rediculous. Greetings, Red. How's it going there? Safe for kids is cool, but why does it apply to people over 18? That's the big question. Like, well, we have to make sure we know who's on the internet. No. Just have parents monitor their children, and there you have. What do we do about the ones that don't? Well, we have a screwed up society, and here's a thought: when they're that screwed up, lock them in jail when they commit crimes. Okay, solves the problem. We can't do that though either, so can't be expected to raise their kids. We need Big Brother. That's right. Come on, guys. I had a Big Brother experience this week. I took my policy retraining for the Tubies to get rid of my community strike warning. Oh, boy. I love Big Brother. I love Big Brother.
Oh, my God.
Boy. Oh, boy. Let's see. Lions, tigers, and bears make better parents. There you go. Salbu, anything to add to the brief conversation? I know you missed most of it, but we're just doing comments now.
Yeah, and I think I know just dawned on me why I missed most of it. Because here in Europe, we switched back to summertime, so we are on our back.
Oh, yeah. I think we change soon.
Yeah, we change this coming weekend.
Oh, we are what are we at? We are...
I think
look at that. I just hit 10K followers on Odyssey. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I think we were short like 50. So we have
I know you're blowing up over there, I'll get over there and I will make sure.
Yeah, we have 10,000 over there on. Let me see what the exact number is on Odyssey. Well, thank you, guys. I didn't notice that. We are. Can I get the exact number? Just says 10K. Hey, it's got me to the point where I can't tell exactly how many people I have over there. Oh, sweet. I might be able to if I check the full page settings on the back end, but as a dying platform for honest creators. Yep, I expect you to get banned soon. Hey, that's why we're ready for that. That's why when I put together the new website, it uses Odyssey as the back end instead of YouTube.
So you're saying is what you're actually saying is that the number of your followers are starting to be as big as when John had trouble counting how many entered in the new Jerusalem. There are so many you can't count them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting 10K over here too. You're becoming a superstar.
Woohoo! I am a superstar. Everywhere you go, it's me. Oh, 10, 17, 10, 18. Let me go to the channels page. Okay, so I have 54 followers on Our Walk in Christ, 28 on Writing Done Right, which I haven't updated in a long time. Even on the in-depth page, okay, it says 10,018 followers is what I have. 2,000 views this week, 325,000 views total. So we have on Odyssey for the Switch to Linux channel. All right. And Rumble, we have 21 over there on Rumble. Hello, Jules over there as well. Strawberry Cupcake, how's it going with you? Miyagata. All right. Still logging to BBS via SSH. I figure they're off the radar. There you go. Web filtering is much better than it used to be. NextDNS is an easy way to lock down the internet. I'll let my kids use desktop computers and their iPhones. They need school are locked via Apple. There you go. Can parents just not allow kids to get on the internet? Yeah. Another Patriot Act. Yeah, that's right. Boy, in university, we had to quadruple digit number square roots on paper. I know, right? Modern blue hair boys think 2 + 2 = 4 is racist. Yep. Oh, boy. Well, Oregon just dropped their educational standards for, I think, reading, maybe? So you can graduate in Oregon public school and not be able to read at all. How about protecting children from school boards and public school teachers? There you go. Strawberry Shortcake is asking, where's Salvo? He's here now. Jules over there on Twitch as well. Greetings. All right. Hey, we went through our comments pretty quick. So that's good. Big Brother. More like Big Brother. Have you checked the children?
Yeah, on one of our servers, I have renamed the root user to Big Brother. So each night we get 3 or 4 normal emails of things happening, statistics and so on from Big Brother.
I bought merch from Manjaro store, but their hats suck big time. Uh-oh. Switch Ghost BSD on a Mac. There you go. I sell the entire guy's catalog, yeah. All right. I think we're going to jump off on the live stream now. So we'll continue to hang out offline. If you're a supporter and you want to jump on the offline, you can go ahead and do that. Still no Christian video tonight. Probably not one next week either. And then probably the week after that is we will come back. So with that, we'll wrap this one up here. And tomorrow, weekly news roundup. 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. So with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.